So is it possible to have peace of mind in this crazy age? I think so. I tend to remain bubbly and positive in spite of all the mayhem and destruction going on. So I'd like to share with you why this is. I'm Brian Snellgrove and I work out of Somerset near Glastonbury in the United Kingdom. What you don't understand will make you fearful. The more you understand, the less fearful you are, possibly the more angry, but the less fearful you are. And you will understand why things happen as they do. For example, this lockdown was intended to last 3 weeks, wasn't it? And now here we are a year later with all sorts of lockdown nonsense and changing stories and so on. Now, you won't understand that unless you know that COVID is a 5-year plan starting on the 2nd of April 2020. So they've got to string it out and frighten people for as long as possible while they make these disgraceful invasions of our privacy while we're being scared to death. So that's the reason for it. So if you didn't know that, you'd be frustrated, but you'd say, oh yes, they would do that, wouldn't they? So I'd like to introduce my site to you by sharing the screen. Boom, boom. Share, dong. And here we are. So COVID Unmasked, COVID-Unmasked net is the one. It says bringing news from around the world. That means about 30 sources I try to put into one. Find facts quicker than search engines. You do indeed, because the algorithms are not saintly, to put it mildly. We have about 5,000, 4,500, 5,000 entries at the moment. It goes up every day, about 120 new ones a week. And the front page consists of the latest news. So this is March the 12th, which is today. Assessment ongoing over clotting concerns relating to AstraZeneca. And AstraZeneca appears in not very flattering ways. And then this shows, if you just click on read more, you can see how Bill Gates' influence. It's a nice, very nice chart there, which I'm quite pleased with. So back we go. Bump, here we are. And this one is offering, someone is offering 225,000 euros for proof that the virus exists. And there's a lot of people who say it doesn't even exist. This is an interesting case in Canada where someone was deemed to be mentally unfit because he was a COVID denier, so-called. Wonderful compilation video, what does it take for us to wake up? 39-year-old mother dies after second dose of Moderna vaccine. This is Professor Bakhti saying lockdown's worst public health mistake in last 100 years. So you get a real feel of what's going on. Now, let's say you wanted to search for a word. Someone wanted to know about, say, Dr. Fauci. You just type Fauci into the search, and given the vagaries of the internet, and there we go. So Fauci. So you can find all about him and so on. If, however, you want to search among the more other categories, if you want to know, say, the effect on children of vaccination and so on, everything that includes children, leading academic quits after showing no children died. He showed that it wasn't dangerous and he was kicked out for it, you know. If you wanted to know about the effect of masks, we have 356 entries and just huge amount of facts. So if you're wondering whether you should wear masks anywhere, outside, inside, then this is an interesting one. Air traffic controller, the mistakes that are being made are more frequent because people have to speak through masks. So the air traffic control is more concerned about people wearing masks than actually reporting um, situations. You might also want to go, let's see, have a look now. Let's go right down. I've got many classifications. This is vaccine adverse reactions. So what happens if you take a vaccine? And there it all is. AstraZeneca again. Canadian doctor speaks out against government COVID restrictions. Masks and vaccines not needed. So you can get an idea of what's really going on. Now, if you want to know what happened in October 2020, this is a Samuel Pepys type diary, by the way. Samuel Pepys was a diarist, for those of you not in the UK, and you can see everything in November starting October 31st, etc. So it's really worth having a look at this. That should say COVID-unmasked. Never mind, let's go back here. I just changed it. It needs to refresh. There we go. And so it's worth your while. It's good ammunition, because it's not just you speaking. Let's say if you disagree with your family, it's not just you rabbiting on, it's you with a lot of authoritative information. So I hope that was useful. Have a look at it. You can contact me via the site. I'm very communicable. I do it sit sadly in front of the computer for 4 or 5 hours a day doing this. Glad to do so, because unless we crack this, then the world as we know it in even 5 years' time is not going to be worth living in. So that's the raison and the raison d'etre for my doing this. Okay. Have a good rest of your day, week, month, year, etc., etc.